All right. Let's practice. Hey, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay over there. All right, sweet. So just sitting cross-legged or kneeling is fine too. You're gonna rest your hands on your knees. Take a moment. If you're sitting all the way on the ground, if your sit bones are on the ground, just feel into like the hips and the low back area as you think of it like the root, like the part that's under the soil. And you want the sprout of your spine to be upright, not arching forward or rounding back. And this is your base well of prana. And you can kind of feel like put gravity. So your ankle bones and your sit bones are like a steady base with gravity. When you do this, this can align the rest of your body to be buoyant. As you anchor through this ankles and sits bones, try to bring the breath in and out through the nose. And feel how it animates and creates movement in your body just by breathing. A couple like this. Turning your attention to this form that you've created. It's like a pyramid with your ankles and sits bones as the base and your crown as the apex of the pyramid. Don't even try to rise or root or anything like that. Just be in the shape and then fill it with breath. And then empty it with breath. Try to get the ribs, the chest, the belly, the back. Try to get all of that moving with each breath. The ribs, the belly, the chest, the back. Get all of that moving with each inhale and exhale. One more. Good. Join your hands in front of you. Reach forward and then up, nice and slow to open your shoulder. Pay attention to how the spine has changed shape. And then again, breathe through the whole torso. You can even let your chin drop towards your chest as your chest might lift towards your chin. Keep reaching up and back with the arm. Good. Exhale, hands touch the floor. Just let your head kind of relax some, shoulders relax forward. Same thing, when you breathe, be conscious of the filling in of the belly, ribs, chest, and back. But then also let them move on the exhale. We'll call it a full torso breath. Inhale, come back up. Change which leg was in front. Take a moment to become conscious of your base again, ankles and sits bones. Conscious of your base. Don't try to rise up. Just notice that your spine sprouts. And then full torso breathing, creating some movement through the breath. Good. Join your hands, reach them forward and then up as you stretch forward, opening your shoulder. Good. Let your chin drop as your chest lifts, full torso breathing. Try to get a pause at the top of the inhale, and then a pause at the bottom of the exhale. Good. Hands come down, let the shoulders and head hang forward. Inhale, back up. Take your left arm across your right knee and twist. Breathe, full torso breathing. Let's go twist the other way. Full torso breathing. Good. Back to center. When you're ready, you're going to rock forward to hands and knees, tabletop. Press down through your heel of your hand and stretch the bones of your fingers forward. Grip the mat with the pads of your toes and the tips of your fingers. And then open the chest and the gaze forward. Breathe here. And keep this grip with the toes and fingers so you feel an awareness of attention through your whole body, from the fingertips and toes, activating the front and back of the torso. Good. We're just going to start to alternate to warm up the hip flexors. You might bring your knees a little closer together. You're going to exhale and pull the left knee into the body and then back down. Exhale, right knee and down. So the thigh comes towards the belly, one leg at a time. Down. Exhale. Down. Exhale. Down. Just keep doing this, alternating. You exhale every time you pull the thigh towards the body, and you inhale as it goes back down, just alternating. A little bit of faster breathing here. Try to pull the thigh bone towards the belly, and you're rounding, maybe tucking the chin slightly, activating. Good. One more time each side. Good. Step the left leg back, toe on the ground, and then roll the hip up as you swing the leg up. Deep inhale here. And then exhale, pull that into the body. And then down. Send the right leg back. Roll the hip open. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale to the body. Back down. Same thing. Left leg back. Inhale, roll it open as you lift. Exhale into the body. Down. Right leg back. Roll it open as you inhale. Exhale into the body. Good. Downward facing dog pose. Breathe and feel a full torso breath, keeping the finger pads and the toe pads engaged on your yoga mat. And as you keep the engagement through your fingers and toes, start to, in your mind, create energetic lines. So from each fingertip to their respective toe. So there's a line of energy from your thumbs to your big toe, from your index to your second toe, from your pinkies to your pinkies. You can see this grid, this lattice in your mind. And now stretch the grid, lengthen it, making smooth lines at your wrists and elbows, shoulders, knees. breathe and smooth out the lines. These are called nadis. Let's come back down to kneeling, sit back, and then rise up, kneeling pose. Turn your palms to face forward. We're going to pull the elbows and shoulders back a little bit. Breathe the full torso breath with a little gentle back bend happening here. Try to feel movement in your ribs, your belly, your chest, and back. Good. Join the hands out in front. Reach them up as you go back. Pull back as you drop your chin. You're going to keep this upper body shape as you step your left foot forward, low lunge. Drop your hips forward. Press down with your feet. And now just stretch the energy lines, these grids that we talked about. Stretch through the joints, reaching up through your fingers. Lengthening these lines of energy from fingers to toes, from toes to fingers. It's soft, it's more subtle than muscle. Let's come back to kneeling. Place the hands on the mat, lift your chin up all the way. If you want, you can stick your tongue out. It's called lion's pose. Good. Inhale, come back up. Turn the palms forward. Pull the elbows and shoulders back and take full torso breathing. What we're doing is we're bringing in some fresh prana with this kind of breathing. Stimulating the circulatory nervous system, activating the body. We want this prana to circulate through these subtle energy lines called nadis. Bring the hands together, reach them forward and up. With the chin dropped so the chest can meet it or close to it. Good. Keep breathing. And feel these lines of energy. They get bundled in the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, the hip, the knee, the ankle. Go ahead, step your right foot forward and sink the hips forward with it, pushing down through your feet. Rise through the energy lines, stretching up through the joints evenly, creating a whole body awareness. Think about the elbows a little bit more. Can they get longer? The elbow joint, can it get longer? Good. Come back down, kneeling, hands on the mat. You can lift your chin. Stick your tongue out if you want for lion's pose. If you really want to get into it, you cross your eyes as well. And then exhale, downward facing dog, letting that low back get nice and long again. Trace those energy lines. Thumb to big toe, pinky finger to pinky toe, index to second toe. See these grid-like lines and stretch them long at the joints. Inhale, come to the top of a push-up. Holding this pose, you're really emphasizing this full body awareness from the whole hand to the pads of the feet, pushing down on the earth, firming up the front and back of the body. Keep breathing here as you hold this pose. Dropping down to kneeling, let's lower all the way down to the earth. Point your toes, inhale, scoop forward. Gentle cobra, tone the muscles of your back. Let's relax it down, turn the head to one side. Inhale, scoop forward. Relax it down, turn your head the other side. Last round. Good, let's tuck the toes, push up all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch the right leg up high into the sky. Exhale, pull the knee forward, plant it down, come up, warrior one posture. Good, yeah, back foot down, excellent. Press down from the heel and stretch out through the 5 toes of each foot. Reach forward with your fingertips, gently touch your fingertips to each other. And just reach forward, try to feel these lines of energy from the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. These lines of energy getting long through the joint. Connect it to your feet. You can see the whole body in your awareness as you lift the arms up. Notice that the front and the back of your torso should stay integrated as you lengthen these energy lines. So that it's almost like our muscles and our bones are inside these energy lines, inside this grid-like lattice called the subtle body, called nadis. Bring the chest up, let the chin soften. Exhale, place your hands down on the mat. Step back to one-legged plank pose, left leg in the air. You can keep the leg in the air as we lower down, and then cobra pose. Deep breath here. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up your left leg high in the sky. Pull it forward and through, warrior one. Plant the feet first, let's start from the roots. Try to seal the feet from the heel to the 5 toes. Toes are engaged, and you can feel how it will tone the ankle and knee and hip. It'll secure them just by really anchoring the feet. That's the grid-like lattice of the energy body influencing the physical. Fingertips reach forward and touch. Soft. Don't reach, don't strive with the physical. Just feel the energy lines extending into the pose. This will relax the nervous system while keeping you invigorated for the practice. You feel the energy lines growing out through your fingertips. As you breathe and circulate the prana. Good. Place the hands down the mat. Step back. If you want to do a one-legged plank here, hold it. Exhale down. Inhale, cobra. Good. When you push down, if you got straight arms, good. Try to get the eye of the elbow pointed forward. That looks good. Yep. And try to wrap the shoulder straight down through the bones into the heel of the hand and out through the 5 fingertips. So the shoulder joint is insulated by these energy lines we're talking about. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Coming down to kneeling, sit back, child's posture. From the fingers to the toes, these are called the side channels. You can also think of it as from the shoulders to the hips. And there's also a central channel from your tailbone to your crown, through your spine. You have the side channels and a central channel. So far, we've only really focused on the side channels and the breath as a pump in the center of it all. As you breathe, feel the side channels sinking into the earth. The elbows, the hands, the shins sink into the earth. Even the sides of your ribs sink into the earth. Shoulders, hips. But then feel your central channel, your spine kind of float, almost like it's lifting towards the sky. So you're creating a beautiful dome shape in the body, like a turtle shell. Good. Tuck your toes. You're going to walk your hands back and come into a squat pose for a moment. Leave your hands on the ground here. And then let's push all the way up to standing. Inhale, reach the arms up high to the sky, mountain pose. Exhale, bow by sending the hands down the legs. Inhale, up. Just keep in the mind these side channels. Especially when the arms are lifted, you can really feel those two pillars and your spine as the core channel floating in between the two. Exhale, down. Mindful of the two side channels like perfect mirrors of each other. And this core channel floating in between the middle of them. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Join the hands. You're going to step a big step forward with the right foot. Warrior one again. Longer stance this time. Seal the heel, seal the toes, and then turn gently open, warrior two. Good. Push the arms and push the legs away from each other, like you're separating the side channels. And now float your crown, like the core channel was rising up. Try to feel the core channel getting bigger and fuller with energy as you separate the sides of the body. Breathe into that space that you're creating. My teacher would say, think of it like a tube of light, a column of light. And you're filling, when you breathe, you're filling it with light. Good. Inhale, lift up the front arm, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. Hook that front arm on the thigh. Good, exactly. Still stretch the front leg and back leg away from each other. Reach out through those top fingertips. And open your ribs. Open to full torso breathing. Good. Go ahead, put your left hand down on the mat. Turn the feet. And you're going to step back to side plank, any version that works for you. Push down through that down arm. Down through the bottom leg. And then try to lift your top arm straight away, making space again. Good. Plank pose. Lower down. Inhale, full cobra. Balance the energy lines of left and right. Good. Try to press down through those shoulders, down through your heel of your hand, out through the fingers. Exhale back, downward facing dog pose. Walk the hands back until we're in a forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Close your eyes a moment, breathe. Visualize the side channels from the feet to the shoulders. Beams of light, smaller pathways, large channels, all mixing. And the core channel. When you breathe into the chest, it lights up. When you breathe into the ribs, it lights up. The belly and the back. Inhale, arms to the sky. You're gonna take a big step forward with your left foot. Warrior one to start. 3 again, engage the feet and toes. A little bit longer stance than the first warrior one. Once you feel that those energy lines are engaged, they're active and connecting, you'll open up warrior two. We're going to push the side channels away from each other, reaching out through the joints, extending the lines of energy. Everything should get softer and more relaxed in the body when you think about lengthening the joints through these energetic lines. Yet there's still plenty of vigor and awareness. Breathe into the spaciousness of your core channel then. Breath by breath. It holds awareness. It holds creativity inside of a static pose. Inhale, front arm up, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. As you reach out with your top arm, start to roll your ribs open. And down on the mat. You're going to turn your feet, go to any side plank pose that works for your body. And then anchor that down side, the down foot, the down hand. Seal them into the mat as you stretch up. Plank pose. Exhale down. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Reaching back through the toes and fingertips. Try to feel the core channel lifting and rising, emerging out of the side channels. Side channels go down, core channel goes up. Let's press back to that child's pose again, pressing down through the shins and forearms. Still continue to breathe, full torso, but a little bit softer. Try to concentrate on nothingness. If you can concentrate on nothingness, these subtle energies become free to go where they need to go, to rejuvenate the body in a way that we can't consciously understand. But we do concentrate. We're not wandered off. We concentrate on nothing. It gives the subtle energy the space to go where it needs to. If we just wander off, the subtle energy just, well, it goes into being thoughts. Press back to a squat, and then rise up to standing again. From the middle of your mat, or middle front of your mat, focus on the pillars. through the feet and the shoulders. You can bring your arms up in a V or like a tuning fork. Shift your weight into your right foot and just bring up your left knee. We'll hold this here for a few breaths. Focus on lengthening the energy through the joints, the wrists, the elbows, the knee, the ankle. Try to keep the shoulders and hips spacious. They have to reach in all directions. You can choose to send the arms forward or send the arms outward as you send the leg back, warrior three. Soften. Think about muscle and bone. Think about extending these lines of energy, knocking things over in this house I'm a guest in. Good. Drop back. Warrior one. Reach forward in the warrior one. You can drop the fingertips on the ground to reach them straight out. And then lift that leg again, warrior three, or like a balancing warrior three, a tripod warrior three. And then inhale, pull the knee back forward and up, lift the knee up. If you can, no hands or with a hand, tree pose. Focus on the joints. See these lines of energy. There's 5 main lines through the hand and feet, and they become the the bones. Through the bones, they wrap around it. You can think of it as 5 separate grid-like lines, or these major channels. However you choose to feel it or see it, whatever holds your attention, brighten it with your breath. Bring the knee back in front and let's rest it down. Rest the mind. Let the body rest inside. Let the physical body rest inside the subtle body. Shifting the weight. Bring up the other knee. Think about the knee and elbows. Those help the most, I think. It's opening up the core lines for the prana to flow. The wrist and ankle next. And the shoulder and hip. Just want to think of them spacious on all sides. So that when you breathe, you can feel the pulse of prana. More than just air in your lungs, but it's the pulse of prana. Good. Send the leg back, the arms go forward or out. Whatever helps keep that spacious, smooth lines of energy. You can imagine them as having different colors. These 5 lines correspond to the elements: air, water, earth, fire. Missing one, space. Yeah, I think that was 5. You can think of it as like one bright beam of light. At some point, you may really just start to feel it. It just becomes what you feel. Drop it back, warrior one for a moment. We could rule this off as just an imaginative way to move our bodies. But for some, these pranic lines, this subtle energy is just as real, just as valid as physical energy. Lifting back up into a tripod, warrior three, or full warrior three again. On inhale, bring the back knee forward and up. With or without a hand, come into tree posture. Again, concentrate on existing your physical body inside the subtle. As much as the subtle world, the mental world, the energetic world has energy, and that's where we get our energy for our physical practice. If the mind's tired, the practice should be a little bit softer. The mind's engaged, can hold these images. There will be more prana. The physical body will end up working harder. But it does not grow more or less tired. This is how a practice can always be rejuvenative. It's about harmonizing the physical and the subtle. Good. Bring the knee back in front and lower down. Rest the physical in the subtle, but concentrate on nothing. Shift the weight into the right leg. Inhale, bring up the left leg. Hold the knee with the right hand. So if the left knee's up, you're alternate, good. Or you can hold the big toe. Hold it with the pinky side up. Yep, exactly. And then flex and kick just a little bit. You can kick your leg totally straight, keep it slightly bent, or reach and then reach back with the left hand. Again, feel the grid of energy. It's the left fingers and the right leg are extending energy. Good. Bend the knee, hook the ankle on top of the thigh. Sit down, standing pigeon pose. Breathe. If you want to go deeper, you can go all the way down to the mat and do the arm balance with the arms on the shin if you'd like. And just hold here. Inhale, come back up. Lift the arms all the way up, bring the knee as high as it'll go. And then exhale, sit down into chair pose. Pressing the palms against each other, push the palms against each other and bring the hands as low as they'll go, so send the elbows out. Keep sitting deeper, using the core, hugging the prana into a singular point, deep in the pit of your belly. Deep in the pit of the belly. Exhale, forward fold. Relax. Inhale, roll back up, mountain pose. Let's stretch the body long. Extending the lines of energy, even on both sides. Breathe deep into a full torso. Let the chin go down so the chest can come up. We lose you? No, we're good? Okay. And relax the arms down. Shift the weight into the left leg. Let's bring up the right knee with the left hand. You can hold the knee or go deeper by holding the toe. Pinky edge up. You're going to kick the leg out any amount is fine. Don't overstrain the back. But we'll extend the lines of energy through the right arm and the left leg. That's what we actually want to be connecting in our twist. Back to center, hook the ankle on the thigh, standing pigeon posture. You can put the hands on the shins or drop the hands to the floor, go deeper. Palms on the floor if you want. Good. Keep the sole of that left foot grounding it. Line of, you can find which toe is overworking. That means that kind of pranic energy in your system is overworking. For me, it's my big toe. I have to work. The second toe likes to work a little hard too. My pinky toe, sometimes I'd say I can't even get it down on the ground. It likes to check out. That's my earth element. Likes to check out. Makes sense why I talk about subtle energy all for an hour and a half. Good. Inhale, come back up. Bring the knee up. And relax it down. Sink down into chair pose. Press the palms against each other. Focusing on a singular point, almost like a spark or a star inside your subtle body lattice, deep in the pit of your belly. Exhale, release, forward fold, hang. Press the palm into the front of your mat. You can jump back to plank or walk. Put the left knee down, and then switch, put the right knee down. Let's do 2 more of those each side. Both knees down and sit back. Child's pose. Forearms and shins, sink them into the earth. And let your core channel, or you could just say the back of your spine, but let the core channel float towards the sky. Good. Walk it back to a squat pose. Inhale, come up. A little breath work, qigong practice. So step your feet shoulders distance apart. Connect with the heel and the 5 toes with even pressure. Take your hands in front of your belly, almost like you're holding an oval, like a round egg. So your thumb tips are connecting energetically and your other fingertips connect energetically. You're holding a big egg in front of your belly. When you breathe, notice how the arms are like out in front a little bit, curved out in front. They're not actually physically touching either. You just pull them apart a little bit. So it's a little more, yeah, you separate the hands physically. Yeah, even more. Yeah, like that, good. And when you inhale, you're gonna bring it up to just about the height of the chest or ribs, and then back down on the exhale. We'll do that a couple times. We inhale, you're lifting energy, and exhale it. It's almost like it's sinking back down, like you're trying to hold it from falling to the bottom of the ocean. And then inhale, you float it up, and then it tries to sink back to the bottom of the ocean. You have to hold it. Try to feel the weight. Inhale, it floats up. Exhale, it sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Not quite as high as you're going, a little lower. Inhale up. Elbows go out, yeah. And then down. Up. A couple more, just constant breathing, using this breath pump. Good. A couple more, we're gonna change the exercise. You're gonna inhale, bring the hands up, just like you were, but on the exhale, you're gonna rotate the palms down and then push down. You know how when you had like a beach ball and you try to get it to go underwater and it tries to slip out from you? It's like that. So inhale, you still lift the ball up. And now instead of trying to keep it from sinking, you're trying to push a beach ball down under the water. Try to feel that it's energetically different on the subtle body. This is the subtle energy that we're working with. Power of the mind on our physical experience. Don't let that beach ball slip out. And hold that prana in. Okay, you're gonna bring your hands out in front of your belly, palm faces palm, like you're holding the sides of the basketball. And you're just gonna push the hands towards each other and pull the hands away from each other and see if you feel any magnetism between your palms. Try to keep your fingers and your hand really relaxed, like really soft in your joints, even your thumb. No hitchhiker thumb. Yeah, see if you feel any magnetism there. That's the subtle energy. Good. Inhale, bring the arms up. You're just going to scan the body down a couple times. Open the arms up like you're tracing an apple, and then the apple's core. Kind of conclude our qigong here. Inhale, apple edge. Exhale, apple core. And these are the side channels. You go up the side channels and down the central channel. Two more. Let's practice an eagle pose. So you can balance with the toe on the ground, keep it floating, or hook it behind the calf. You're going to take your left elbow under the right elbow. And when we do the eagle pose today, we're going to exhale our air, just to demonstrate first. And as you exhale the air, you're going to drop your chin and gently round the back. And a hole at the bottom of it with no breath like this. And then when we inhale, we're going to take a deep inhale in and release the pose. Okay, I'll guide you through it. Okay, so left elbow under, and then that will mean the left knee will go over. Take a deep inhale in, and then exhale, sink down. You can bend the legs, squeeze the legs, push all the air out, elbows come down and in, chin comes in. And then inhale, open it up big. And then relax. If you get a little lightheaded, we won't hold as long next time. Okay, so now the right elbow goes under, and the right knee goes over. We'll get the hang of it. We'll do a couple rounds. Take an inhale, and then all the air out, creating a lock of energy. And then holding the breath. Inhale in. And then relax the energy down. Breathe normally for a second. Okay, so you don't have to wait for me, or you can wait longer than me. You'll just do it at your own pace this time. After you've created that lock, you've exhaled all the air, you just wait with no breath, and when you ever feel ready, you spring it open and take the breath back in. Okay, so we'll go into the pose together, but you come out of it whenever it suits you. Left elbow under, left knee over. Inhale, and then all the air out until we hold. Relax a moment. Feel the energy. And we'll try the other side. Right elbow under. That means the right knee goes over. Inhale in. All the air out. So we hold. Deep full breath in, and then slowly let the air out. do one more round on each side. If you get any lightheadedness, it just means that you maybe held too long or that in-breath was too rigorous. You just sort of feel it out. You can modulate to suit you. Sometimes you just get a nice surge of energy. That's the idea. Okay, I don't remember what side we're on, but we'll do both. It's left elbow under. That sounds right. Left knee over. Inhale in. Same exact thing we just did. Exhale until we hold. Feel the body. Last round. Right elbow under. Right knee over. Exhale all the air. Feel the energy. And close the eyes or soften the gaze and create a mountain pose that feels good to you, where you can just see these subtle lines of energy from the heel and toes, up through the ankles and knees, up through the side body, down through the shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingertips. And see the core channel just floating in the middle. Balance the front and back, the left and right sides of your subtle form. Feel the breath move through it. A few more deep breaths. Concentrate now on nothing. Let the subtle energy behave as it wishes. When you're ready, come down to kneeling pose. Just relax in any kneeling pose that feels good to you. Go ahead, push your left knee forward and send your right leg back for a pigeon posture. Through the relaxing pigeon, you can just rest the physical inside the subtle. Breathe long and slow. But elongate each breath as we were sipping the air. Change the sides. Roll to your side and turn to the side of your mat. Take the legs out wide. Round the sit bones and heels. And just notice, like in the beginning of our practice, just like it was the ankles and sit bones, now it's the heels and sit bones. Just exist in your physical anatomy. When you think about the base of heels and sit bones as points in the base of a pyramid, and your crown as the apex of that pyramid. Try not to strain at all. No part of the body is strained. There's no right or wrong way to be in the shape. Let the breath flow. Slowly take the left arm to the right leg and slide it down the leg any amount. The right arm will go off to the right edge and just exist in this shape. Take the right arm to the other leg. Second side. Exist in the shape. Excuse me. Back to center. Let's come back up. Change your shape on your mat. And let's slowly sink down into our mat for some bridge pose. Feet, hips, shoulders, and head on the mat. You can actually press your palms down on the mat near your hips. And then let's lift our hips up, bridge pose. Hold the pose. If you're still have the energy, you focus on these energy lines, fingertips and toes, moving through the arms and legs. And let's come back down. Bridge pose again. Back down. Last one. Back down. Let's bring one knee into the chest, maybe the left knee. Twist it over to the right. Try to keep your left shoulder near the earth. Come back to center. Bring in the right knee. It's difficult to concentrate on nothing. But when we realize that when we trade this focus on I, this focus on me, we trade it for nothing. Instead of concentrating on me and what I can do, we concentrate on nothing. It seems like a bad deal. Let's twist the other side. When we concentrate on nothing, and we realize that we get this amazing light show happening in the inner world, all of a sudden becomes the best deal. A sort of front row seat to the workings of the universe. Back to center. And just listen to the body for a moment. See if there isn't a final pose that makes sense. Maybe there isn't. But as you're ready, you'll stretch out your limbs, open the form up for Shavasana. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Feel the light show of the subtle body. And take a comfortable seat when you're ready. Thanks for practicing. Namaste.